For a long time, the list of great books was a very small map, mostly showing Europe and America. This literary canon was largely written by white men. But what happens when your map only shows one continent? You risk believing that's the entire world. The Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie calls this the danger of a single story. If we only hear one narrative about a place or a person, we risk a critical misunderstanding. Stereotypes take root. Diverse literature is the antidote. To truly understand a story from another culture, we need to understand its roots, its cultural context. Was the country colonized? What are the social rules about family or religion? How does the landscape shape the characters? Without this context, a symbol's meaning can be completely lost. In the West, a dragon is a monster to be slain. In China, it's a symbol of power and good fortune. An owl might mean wisdom to you, but a bad omen to someone else. This is where post-colonial literature becomes so vital. It's about writers from formerly colonized nations writing back, reclaiming their history from their own perspective. They might subvert the English language, mixing it with their native tongue to prove their culture cannot be fully translated. And crucially, we see the rise of own voices, books where the author shares the same marginalized identity as their protagonist. This isn't just about accuracy, it's about emotional truth. It ensures a culture is being honored by someone who lives it, not just used as a colorful backdrop. A bookshelf is a map of human experience. By reading global novels, you train your brain for empathy. You learn there is no normal way to live, just hundreds of different, beautiful ones.